morning, Malaysia. And good morning, USA. Welcome to the Gratitude Talk Show. And so glad to see you back in action, Rick. Happy New Year, everyone. Rick.
Happy New Year, everyone. Good evening, Asia. Good morning, USA. Super excited to share with you content for 2022.
Right, great. Today, I think this is the first show that we are doing, And do you have any New Year wishes you want to share with everybody?
Yes, I want to wish everyone safety, health, happiness, prosperity. I hope everyone had an amazing 2021 and may 2022 be your best year ever in everything you do.
Right. So I have a New Year wish for everybody. Happy New Year, everyone. I'd like to wish Rick and all of our audience today Happy New Year and wishing you the best year ever, right? In 2022. So 2021 has passed and here comes 2022. Now, the Gratitude Talk Show is back. So in this episode of the Gratitude Talk Show, we will talk about positive of 2021 and what is our courageous commitment. Let me just say that again. Courageous commitment for 2022 to be a better version of ourselves. So thank you all for coming to the Gratitude Talk Show. Now, if you have see a little bit of change, we actually changed the name of the show because we thought this show is to give back to the MDRT community and it should gel with the idea of our intention. That's why we changed the name slightly. So thank you MDRT for making us who we are today, and we are grateful for all the teaching and the sharing among MDRT members. This show, it is our way to give back to the community. And if you like us, please share this live session now with all your colleagues so that more will learn and more will benefit and more will be successful in our business. So for 2021, the Gratitude Talk Show will start. For 2021, the Gratitude Talk Show started with a monthly show, right? Then in September, because of work and all that, closing at the end of the year, we switch it to quarterly. However, in 2022, we will want to give back to all of you every month. So expect to see more of us this year, and we guarantee that we will be here for you every month, right, Rick? Are we going to be here every month?
That is true. You and I were getting some Facebook messages from some of our friends and fans that said, why did you switch it to quarterly? I wanted monthly again. So based on amazing feedback from all of you, Lim and I will be doing this on a monthly basis again. So thank you guys for wanting us, having us, and we're excited to do this every month again.
All right, thank you, Rick. And for all the Malaysian, Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia audience out there, just like to let you know, Rick actually does speak for companies. So if your companies wants to have a professional speaker to talk about financial planning, to talk about managing agency, to talk about managing, to be TOT, COT, whatever they want to, you can actually call Rick. You can come to me or you can go straight to Rick and ask him whether he's free to actually share in your agency or in your company. Let me just put it this way, share in your company, that would be better, all right? So we do have quite a lot of Filipinos audience today, a lot of Filipino audience. I spoke with AIA Philippines today, and a lot of them say they want to come to the show. So if you are a Filipino, if you're watching this from the Philippines, could you please say, yay, hi, I'm from Philippines. Let us know that you're from Philippines so that we can greet and welcome you, all right? And I can see a lot of common faces, right? MDRT builder Esther Hu, we have Kakalam, hi, Fatima. Thank you for coming in, and my boss Mahalingam as well, right? So Nohati Ramli, thank you for coming in. Lisbel, if you're from the Philippines, can you just raise your hand and say hello from Manila? Yes, Lisbel says she's from Manila, right? So let me just put this up. How do I put this up again? Okay, add to broadcast. So Lisbel Galura Rivera says he's from Manila. Hi Liz, good to have you here, right? Now,
Hello.
Yes, James, another one from the Philippines. Hi James, good to have all of you here. Leonard, Hi, how are you? Good to see all of you here. And of course, we have all the local guys, the Malaysian, the Singaporean, the Indonesian. And hi, all of you. Thank you for watching. Now, if you could do me a favor and do Rick a favor, if you could do one thing for us, right, Rick? If you could just share this broadcast now to your team members, to your agency force, to the friends, that is in the insurance business. Please go ahead and share this. We would love to see all of them coming to the show and learn something, right, today. So how are we going to do this, right, Rick? We're going to do a talk show session. We're going to ask some questions. And then at about 9:45, 9:50, we will actually answer all your questions, all right? So this is a open-ended talk show, means you has the chance to actually ask us questions. So normally we will actually we will finish, and we will try our best to finish every questions before we say bye at 10 o'clock. So go ahead, please ask questions, all right? Ask us any question that you want regarding your business, how to do well this year, and you have the 12 months ahead of you, and we wish to hear from you, okay? Teresa, another one from Manila, hi. So please share it out. Let the whole Philippines agency force know about the Gratitude Talk Show so that more people will learn something and more people will do well in their business, okay?
For many of you that are being here for the first time,
Yeah.
wanted to mention that Lim and I are doing this show to give back to our community. We believe in sharing ideas and giving back. Really important, this show is live. This is a live show. So feel free to ask us any questions you want, and we promise we'll give you our best answers. And more importantly, because it's a live show, I would tell you this. I know Lim and I love the hardest questions in the world. Give us all the hardest questions you have, and we will do our best to absolutely, as my motto is, to change your life. I promise I'll change your life. I'll change your career trajectory. If you ask me the questions that you don't know answers to, that most people don't give you a good answer to, trust us, we're going to share with you a different perspective that hopefully will change your career.
Thank you, Rick. So for all of you, for all of our guests, we do have a podcast, I'm actually putting up the Apple podcast and also the Google podcast address at the, what do you call this, at the chat area. If you want to actually listen to all the shows from last year until now, you can go to Google Podcasts and listen to it, all right? Or Apple Podcasts. If you want to watch the show, you can actually always come back to Limerence Live. All the shows are there. You can actually see the snippets of it. And we actually release every week one or two edited snippets of our show for everybody to actually learn something every day. So you can actually go there, subscribe to the podcast, and listen to us while you are driving, right? Okay? Another Philippines. Yeah. Philippine AIA. Okay.
Awesome.
Good to see all of you, right? Coming to the show. It gives us energy when we see more people joining us, all right? So I would love to ask all of you to share. Please share our show to all your colleagues. Share it, and share it so that more people can benefit from this, all right? So, Rick.
Remember to share. The reason why we say this is our message. We're going to do this once a month for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Our message is to give back. The more people Lim and I can help, the more people we can teach, the more powerful that message can be. So top of the table producer, you can ask us any questions. So please remember to ask great questions, take lots of notes, and share this message.
Thank you, Rick. You say the softest, you have the softest touch, Rick. All right? So the topic today is reflection, Let us talk about some reflection on 2021. We go on to the show, the main topic, Rick. So what happened and how do we feel about 2021 in our business and in our personal life? So Rick, would you like to start off with the first reflection you have for 2021?
Sure. So we'll start with 3 positive reflections for 2021. My first positive reflection for 2021 was challenging myself every single day to do something I do not like. I, in fact, hate it, but today I love it. Um, at the start of 2021, some of you that know me or have watched the show before, my wife has said, Rick, I want you to start biking. She knows I hate to bike. And in fact, I love to run. So we bought a bike in end of 2020 to 2021. My commitment, which was my positive reflection, was to bike every single day and not miss a single day. And in 2021, I'm proud to share with all of you, I biked every single day for 5 to 10 miles minimum. And last year, I biked over 2,000 miles. And today, I love biking. And I'll tell you this, because I challenged myself to do something that I hated every single day, and eventually I fell in love with it, I'm no longer the same Rick in 2021 and 2022. My mindset, my physical capacity, the way I think is totally different. So that's my first positive reflection. What about you, Lim?
Wow. 2,000 miles of biking. I'm trying to reach 25 kilometers of running every week. That is killing me. And you can do 2,000 miles in a year. Amazing, Rick. All right. Thank you for sharing this. Now, for me, 2021 is a year of turbulence. In Malaysia, we had a good 5 months of freedom where we can eat out, have fun, you know. So those are the good times, right? The market was open and all. And then Delta hits. When Delta hits in May and end of May, we enter a lockdown again. And this round of lockdown, it's not a really complete lockdown. It's still a bad one. So most of us, I would say 90% of the market was closed. Nobody is able to go out and work except critical industries. And but it gave us, the Delta virus gave us a unprecedented opportunity to reach out to a bigger market with our medical insurance. I think the whole insurance industry actually benefited during that lockdown. You know why? Because Delta case was so high. We were at 25,000 infection rate every day, and every day we were seeing like 380 to 400 people dying from COVID. And that actually brought a lot of awareness among the citizens of Malaysia, the people of Malaysia, that medical insurance is actually very important. And to tell you the truth, a lot of them, some of my clients actually went in for Delta. Because of Delta, they went into the hospital and they were treated and came out with bills like 280,000 ringgit, 300,000 ringgit. And that is a lot of money for us. An average Malaysian makes about 35,000 ringgit, and that is like 10 times of their annual income. So that gave us a unprecedented opportunity to actually do a lot of medical insurance and actually reach out a much bigger market that we are unable to reach during the normal times, because people were not aware of it, they don't care, you know, and all that. And that gave us a lot of opportunity to actually market and actually to get to know all these people. And I had a very good year, actually. I had my cases, my numbers of cases went up by like 41%. I did 41% more cases than last year. So that was good. That was really good. That was last year, okay? So I did not do a lot of running, Rick. I just maintained about 20, 25 every month, every week. And I should actually learn from you, buy a bike. But I bought a rower. I bought a rowing machine. It does help me a bit, okay? I should buy, all right? Now, back to you, Rick. What is your second thing you want to reflect upon 2021?
Sure. So the first positive reflection was something physical or mental that was challenging that we overcame, which was biking every single day, even though I hated biking. Now, the second thing that was a positive reflection was, as many of you start the year, we set goals. We're humbled and fortunate to say, although I've been an MDRT member for over 10 years, lifetime, I think MDRT lifetime member. The last 2 years, we were top of the table member. But last year, we had our best year ever in every category. We helped and served more families than I've ever done before. In fact, December 2021 was the best month of my career, the best month of my career. So during this COVID outbreak, I buckled down, and as all of us know, December is a holiday month. I looked and shared with our team, we need to help everyone and anyone we can in the last month of 2021 before this Omicron virus gets worse. So the positive reflection was we had our best year ever in investments. Assets under management, we grew by over 50%. And we had our best year ever in insurance. We grew by over 50%. So we hit all our goals. In fact, we smashed our goals. And it's really, really humbling to share that our team's focus has always been the same to help and serve our community. We don't focus on results, we focus on our process, and clients more than ever need us today. So that's our second positive reflection. What about you, Lim?
Congratulations, Rick. You had a very, very good year last year. You know, last year is also a year when I started really building a management team system into my business. Now, I've always been using staffs in managing my business ever since my first MDRT. So it's not something new for me, but I've never really built a system into the team that was working on my business. So last year we started to put structure into the management team. So now, after a year, we have a team of staffs that actually manages my business. I have an office manager that handles claims. I have a general insurance executive that handles all the property insurance, fire, burglary, car insurance, and all that. And we have a new business manager that handles all new businesses, inquiries, and new recruits. And a media team that handles all my online presentations and, of course, including this show. This show is actually managed by a media team. You know, it's not as simple as you see. You know, you can just put on the camera and talk for 2 days. It doesn't work that way. All the videos you see are done by my media team members. And we started a customer advisory team that handles customer policy reviews, new business engagements, and all these things. So those are the things that we have done, and at least now I can see that after 1 year, the system is running well, it's moving very well. I'm glad that the management team is in place. And I think moving forward, 2022, the team is ready to actually take the quantum leap in business acquisition as also in business management. We're ready to actually recruit more agents into our fold. And last year was actually the first year I was very, very serious in agency building. You know, for the last 20 years, 15 years, I was chasing top of the table. So I was very, very focused on personal sales and all that. But last year, I put a lot of effort in building the management team and building a system that will help us quantum leap. And I told my staffs, don't worry about the production as it is. Actually, last year, we did not grow a lot, I think by 1 or 2%. But my contribution to the team went down. But the other team members actually brought in more businesses. So they grew, you know, and that is a good thing, you know. So this year, we hope that the team will grow even further with the management team being mature and moving very well. So that is my reflection. Back to you, Rick. What is your next thing?
So the third positive reflection for 2021 was culture. I'm sure some of you have heard this. Culture eats hard work or talent for breakfast. So in 2021, we took our entire team and their family members, their spouses, to the Dominican Republic. And what I mean by that is we had our best culture year ever. And that's really important to me because what we do is not easy. Life is not easy. And every day, if we're motivated to inspire and help and serve others, we have to be in a good place. And so it was a great culture year. In fact, we grew our team. We hired more people last year in the Midas Wealth family than we've ever had. Now at Midas Wealth, we have a team of 8. And last year, we brought our entire team and their spouses to the Dominican Republic. So that's really, really, really important to me because culturally, it's so powerful. And whether we're in the office or we're all working from home because of this pandemic, we talk to each other almost every single day. And we had our Thanksgiving dinner where we invited our team to our family's house and our kids met everyone's family. That was exciting. We had our Christmas dinner and party. If I could go back into time, I would tell you this: 2021, not only was it a difficult year, it was our best year, but we had the most fun. We had the most fun. So, really, really excited about the positive reflection. What about you, Lim? What's your number three?
You know what, Rick? This your number three is what is my commitment in 2022. Right. In 2021 also I've started looking into PRS, the private retirement scheme, and I've been doing some work on it, and I can see some dividends paying off. You know, where did I actually the private retirement scheme is Malaysian secondary retirement accounts. It's just like your 401k and all that. It is paying dividends in the retainer fees. I can see it coming every month, and it does add values to my clients. Thanks to Rick, because before I started the show, I was 100% insurance man, you know. And after coming to the show, after talking to Rick, and Rick keep telling me, you have to start your investment portfolio. That's where I actually took to action. And last year, the PRS account grew a lot. I think I brought in nearly $1 million worth of investment, which is a small start compared to you, Rick, but it's still something to start with, you know. And this year, I'm looking forward to bringing at least 10 to 15 million into the portfolio. So fingers crossed to work on that, and it does add values. So I also learned something new about agency management, which is going to be very exciting for next year, which we are planning very, very heavily into it, and which I'll embark to do in 2022. So that's something is something revolution for me. I don't know about other people, but it is something very interesting and revolution for me. I'm very excited about it. So that is something that we are focusing and doing next year. Hopefully our business will goes up, and business will take a quantum leap starting next year. So you have anything else to say about reflection, Rick?
I think that's a lot of great positive reflection. And the reason why we want to start this year off with positive reflection is no matter how difficult, how easy, how your year went in 2021, I always share with you all the one thing that we need to control and master is our mindset. Everything, we can look at the glass half full or half empty. I look at every single day, I choose to look at every single day with optimism, with positive reflection. Because with that positive energy, I promise you, you're going to have your best year ever in 2022. So those are our positive reflection. Shall we start with commitments, courageous commitments for 2022?
You know, Rick, I really like to stop you there, and I'd like to hear about our audience's positive reflection of their year. You know, so I'm going to invite you to actually put your positive reaction and tell us about your positive reaction, and we're going to put it up into the live show so that everybody can see, and so that some of us can learn, all right, throughout, okay? So if you have anything to tell us, you have a positive reflections to share with all of us, please do so. Post it up, and we would love to see you, okay? We have an old friend here, Richard. Hi, Richard. Richard said both of us are legend, but actually Richard is the legend. He is the legend, all right? He is a tremendous agency manager, and I have full respect, highly regard, he's a highly sorted speaker in agency management, and he is the guy, you know. Actually, Richard looks a bit like you. Both handsome, all right? So tell us a bit about your positive reflection, you know, send it to the chat group. Let's see what you have to tell us so that we can share with other people what happened to you last year that you want to thank, that you want to be grateful for, all right? Okay? So let's move on with commitments. Rick, you want to start first, Rick, with your commitments in 2021? 2022,
Sure,
sorry.
sure. So, courageous commitments. I'm going to start with the first one, which is something I don't like to do. I'm going to commit to everyone that's watching the show. So, I remember last year, I had a coworker that said, Rick, you're doing so many great things for the community. There's one thing that I think personally, I have a lot of weaknesses, but he said, there's one thing that I challenge you to do. And I said, what's that? He said, how come you don't talk more often publicly? And I said, I don't really, although I have no problem speaking, I love to speak. He challenged me to create, whether it's a TikTok video, an Instagram video, a Facebook live show. And the reason why I don't like doing it is not that I can't do it. In fact, I love doing it and I absolutely can smash it and challenge and commit and achieve it. Is I did a YouTube video last year. And in that segment, we had 60,000 views, over 2,000 positive comments and likes. And what I did not want to do was create a lot of branding that if you actually go to Google now, the first thing that pops up, Rick Hugh, I think in one of the search box, Rick Hugh's wife, Rick Hugh's children. So I don't really like to do public speaking because at the end of the day, my message is a positive one. But I don't want people to know too much about my personal life. So, but in fact, so this is my courageous commitment to all of you. So last year we hired a marketing company. This year, my commitment, once we finalize all the details, and if I do anything, I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to do 1,000%. 1,000%. I practice so many times before I even do something. So this year, once we finalize all the details, we're going to be doing either TikTok videos, Instagram, or Facebook Live, and we're just going to be popping out all these content and videos. I'm going to pop out more content and videos this year than I've ever done in my entire life. I don't like to do it, and I have the blessing from my wife and my family to do it because I want to give back. I want to give back. But please do not search who my family is. Please do not search where I live, and please do not search my home number. You don't know how many phone calls I got from random strangers last year that found out where I live, found out my home number, and they called me or my cell number. So those are the things that I like doing, I don't like doing because of obviously the positive publicity. They were all positive messages, but I just don't want to create too much attention. So that's my first courageous commitment. Back to you, Lim.
Hi, yes. We have a good friend here, Indres. Indres Kumar is the country chair of India. Hi, Indres. Good to have you here, Indres. Okay, good to see you, bro. So please share with your agency force in India and all the MDRT members in India. Yes, okay. So now, I just like to tell you, keep the questions coming and tell us your positive reflection. We love to hear from you and keep all your questions coming. As far as I'm concerned, we only have one question now from Esther, and we love to collect questions, okay? Just send it to us, 10, 15, we would love to answer them, right? So now, before I go into commitments, let us see some of the reflections. Liz Bell tell us, don't wait until the pandemic is over. Do whatever you do it now, don't put it off and really do it now. Make each day count, all right? Thank you, Liz. We hear you there, right? So then we have Janet, who tells us, hi, legends. Well, we're not legends yet, Positive reflections for me is achieving my best story, own my story of achievements. First MDRT, top achiever in my agency, and I want to go COT Summit and do what I don't like to do. Wow, you want to do what you don't like to do. That's amazing. Now, let's give Jeanette a first-timer MDRT welcome. Rick, do you know that? Do you know how do we do the first-timer MDRT welcome?
No, show me. Teach me.
Okay. All right, I'll just show you, then we do it together, all right? It is like, yes, Jeanette, yeah, first-timer, yoo-hoo. That's how they do it. That's how they do it at the annual meeting, all right? When you register your first-timer, everybody like, okay, let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. All right, Jeanette, first, Rick, you're supposed to do it together.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Yes, first-timer MDRT member. Okay. Sorry, Jeanette. Rick is a shy guy, all right?
I'm extremely shy.
All right. Okay, it's a bit of fun here, right? So, yes, It's a bit of fun here. So tell us about your reflection. First timer MDRT is very, very important because I know how hard you put yourself through that, and congratulations, Jeanette, to be part of the family of being an MDRT member. Rick, anything to share with
Shanette,
Jeanette?
I can promise you. Shanette, I can promise you one thing. In fact, I don't use the word guarantee often, but I could guarantee you, if you take our advice, if you listen to some of the comments and the advice and the teachings from last year, now that you're MDRT, which was your goal, that will be your guarantee minimum in the future. In fact, COT is one of the destinations that you'll hit. It's not your final destination. We'll get you to TOT, and I promise you one day, TOT is your minimum. TOT is your minimum.
Thank you, Rick. And Sadiq Dirani says, you guys need to work on that. All right. Okay. Next time we get Sadiq to come and do the first timer cheer, all right? So just pick another one. Esther says, I started my first reel by June 2021. I promised myself to do 4 reels in a month. And by the end of the year, I did 123 reels. What is reels? Esther, can you elaborate? What's a reel? Do you know that?
I think
Rick?
it's those short videos. It could be those short videos. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. All right. So Shanette says I'm
All right,
missing
Lim.
out. Okay.
All right, Lim. I know you're buying time. What is your first courageous commitment for 2022? I want to hear it.
Okay, sorry, Rick. You know I'm buying time, all right? So my commitment in 2022 is agency building. MDRT, COT, TOT is all about personal production. I've done that for the last 15 years. And I've created a culture of giving back to my clients throughout my career, So I like to spread the ideology through agency building. I like to spread my positive vibes of adding value back to our clients every day through agency building. Because if I'm just me, I can't give back too much to the country or to the community that I'm working with. So I like to spread this ideology through the agency building and spread this belief that you should treat your clients fairly and you should treat your clients with empathy, with love, with care. And moreover, every day we want to think how to add value back to our clients. That is what I want to do, agency building. So this year, my commitment is to build 100 agents through my management team and my existing agency force using a new method in recruitment, okay, and also business building. So that's my commitment, 100 agents. I know a lot of people say I'm crazy, but it's okay. I don't really care, all right? Watch me. If I can do TOT, I can build an agency. You just have to watch me, all right? So that is my commitment to myself and my team, that I want to build a agency that can carry the idea of adding value to people. Happy, Rick?
Fantastic. I'm really happy.
Okay. So, Rick, what is your second commitment?
Sure. So you'll see the trends. The first commitment was something that's psychological, not fun, but I'm going to smash it and crush it. Okay. Now, the second commitment is now based on productivity and goals. The second commitment is whatever we did last year was my minimum, will be our minimum. So to share with all of you, I've been in the business about 15 years. My dream was to be an MDRT. People told me being MDRT, $1 Million Roundtable, is the best of the best. So I spoke to a peer and they said, if you could get to MDRT in your 10th year, you're an absolute all-star. We were fortunate enough to get to MDRT by our second year. But when I got to MDRT my second year, I went to the meeting and I was like, wow, MDRT is actually the lowest rank. I was like, one day I hope I'm good enough to be COT. And then one day I hope I'm good enough to be TOT. So since we got to MDRT the second year, we've been an MDRT member every single year. And 2 years ago, I hit TOT for the first time after I stepped out of leadership. You guys can ask me anything about leadership. In my 7 years of my career, I recruited over 100 people. And unfortunately, I terminated over 100 people. So I'm not like Lim. I'm very straightforward, direct, and I'm very, very transparent. But we built our office at 25 years old. I was the youngest managing director for a financial service company. And in 7 years, we built that office to number one. We were on top, on top. And then I coughed blood. Some of you that don't know my story, I coughed blood and I made a decision. Do I continue to be an agency leader or do I go back to personal practice? I decided my team is so successful, they didn't need me, but my 1,000 clients needed me more. So I went back to personal practice. And in that first year, going back to personal practice, we hit top of the table. And the second year, we hit top of the table. Last year, we did 2x top of the table. So here's my commitment, courageous commitment. This year, we're going to have our best year ever in both assets under management and insurance premium. This year, we're going to do a minimum of 3x top of the table. 3x top of the table. So that's my commitment to all of you. Now, top of the table is actually our minimum. For the month of January, we already hit MDRT. We hit MDRT in 1 month. Last year in 2021, in the first month, we hit MDRT. I think it was by the third month or the fourth month, we hit COT. By the sixth month, we hit TOT. So this year, my commitment is first month, we already hit MDRT. By the third month, we're going to hit COT. By the sixth month, we're going to hit TOT. By the ninth month, we're going to hit 2x TOT. By the 12th month, we're going to hit 3x TOT. And if you guys want to ask us how, ask questions. Ask questions. This session is for you. All right, Lim, what is your second courageous commitment to the audience for 2022?
Wow, your courageous commitment makes me feel very excited for you. I'm very worried for myself. So 2022, I like to give back to my people, my staff, and my agents. You know, whatever that you have done to your team, you know, that is amazing. You know, the culture. So as they have been, you know, my team has been all loyal and to my vision and in life and also in my business. You know, one day I was asked by my branding consultant. We were talking about giving back to clients, what you're supposed to do for clients' appreciation, this and that, this and that. Then the branding consultant asked me this question: Renan, you treat your clients very well, but do you have a system to give back to your team? How do you treat your people? Actually, that stunned me at that moment. You know, I really have no answer for him. It was straight in the face in front of my staffs, and I couldn't answer him. I didn't have an answer, because I've always been focused in giving back to clients, and I did not put much effort on the team experience. So 2022, I will do a lot more to help my team, right? As I always say, I always tell people, my first MDRT is all me. I did it. But after that, the next 14 MDRT, COT, and TOT is all my team's effort. It is a teamwork. They made me top of the table. So I like to set a system to reward them, you know, and set a system to actually make them feel like a family. And I like to bring the management team out for. I hope none of them is listening. Well, if they listen also, I think they'll record it now. So I like to bring them out, you know, to some place, visit holidays and all that. And especially to my agency team as well, we would love to actually have more activities together so that we feel like a family. We play together, eat together, and we work together, and we fight our targets together. So that's my commitment next year, to actually give back to my people, give back to my tribe, give back to my staff and my agents. Yeah, that's my
Amazing.
commitment. So guys, if you're listening, right, I know some of them are listening now. So I think they're recording my words. It's fine, okay? So what's your commitment, Rick? What is your third commitment?
My third courageous commitment for 2022 is not being comfortable. So I'm going to, although we had our best year ever, how many of you have your best year ever and challenge yourself to change? Rick, what are you talking about? You just had your best year ever. How are you going to change? You have to level up. The world is getting harder. Our industry is getting difficult. We have to level up and get better. So right now, Midas Wealth, we're a team of 8. My commitment to our team is in the next 12 months. In fact, the goal is to do it in the next 3 months. I'm going to grow our team by 50%. We're going to hire 4 more people on our team. They're all operation. They're not advisors. They're all operation, not advisors. So we're going to go from a team of 8 to a team of 12 to a team of 12. Now, when your family is so beautiful, when your team and your organization is doing all the things that it's supposed to do, and culturally it's amazing, to grow that organization by 50%, bringing people in is very difficult. So I always teach people when it comes to hiring, you have to hire slowly and fire quickly. Hire slowly, fire quickly if they're not right for the culture. So this is very difficult, but I'm really excited. We're going to grow our organization by 50%, all operation. And my intentions is this summer, we're actually on track to do it. I'm going to take our entire team and their spouses. I asked them where they want to go, and they said Italy, Italy. So we're hoping our budget for this trip is 5x more than Dominican Republic. Once we hit our goal after the summer, we're taking all our team members and their spouses to Italy. So think about this. We just had our best cultural year, and I asked our team for permission. Can I grow our team? Can I welcome 4 more operation team members to our family? They said yes. And not only that, so we're going to include and increase our team by 50%. And we have to make sure those new team members incorporate amazingly into our culture. And then we're going to have another best year ever. The
So,
goal is to bring in a total of 4 more. It'll be 12. And then I promise you, here's my courageous commitment. The reason why it's so easy for me to tell you my positive reflections and courageous commitment is because I have it for 2025, 2030. I have it all written down. In fact, what we achieved in 2021 was my goal for 2023. It was 2023's goal. So we're actually 2 years ahead of where my goals are. By 2025, our team will grow to a team of 20. By 2030, our team will grow to a team of at least 30. At that point, by 2030, I will tell you all, Rick Hugh will not be seeing any more clients. I will not be seeing any more clients. You're like, Rick, why not? Because we're all CEOs here. We're all CEOs. We're all self-employed. By 2030, I will build our organization to a team of 30. I will have at least 10 lead advisors. I have 20 operation people. And my goal is to not see clients one-on-one. My goal is to impact stages, audiences, speak in front of thousands and thousands. Where that 1 hour that I speak, not influence one family, but I'll influence 1,000 families. So that is the courageous commitment. Back to you, Lynn.
wow, amazing. Are you doing the 25-year, uh, the 25-year plan, something like that? There's this thing called the 25-year planning. Are you doing that?
What we do in our organization is, I guess, like 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year goals. But in 2018, when I stepped out of leadership, I told myself in 5 years, I have to hit X. If I don't hit X in 5 years, I'll disappoint my wife and my kids. So I was telling my wife the other night, in 2021, we hit our 2023, our 5 year goal in 3 years. And then I obviously have a 2025 goal. Based on where we are, we will probably hit 2025 by next year. And based on what I wanted for 2030, I reflected. I'm like, what was I thinking? That was such a big, that wasn't even a goal. That was like a task. So where we're going to be in 2030, we're going to manage over 1 billion in assets. By the time I'm 45 years old, we will manage, I might as well, over 1 billion of assets. It's super exciting. It's super fun. We were recently recognized in America in Forbes top 50 in the whole country. Forbes magazine top 50 in the whole country. And I don't know, but I think we were the only Asian in the top 50. The only Asian in the top 50. And that's why we want to make this impact. We want to make this impact. And many of you might say, well, Rick, all these results are great. And guess what? I don't even care about the results. All I care about is the process. When I meet a client, we just did a meeting yesterday night. Had a meeting with a client, and they were like, wow, this is the best meeting I ever had in my life. When I go into my meetings, all I care about is one thing. I'm going to change your life. I'm going to change your life. I'm going to teach you things that you never heard of. And even if you knew, I'm going to confirm it. So that's our process. I don't care about the results. They can work with me or don't work with me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I'm going to give it my best. So, and because I follow through with those kind of commitments and those personal values and excellence, you know what's our number one mission at Midas Wealth? Our number one mission at Midas Wealth is client experience. Client experience. I don't care about the numbers. I actually tell our clients, I tell our team, every client that meets us has to have the best experience in their life. The best experience in their life. We have to change their life for the best. That's it. That's our mission, changing our clients' life, clients' experience. How many of you, when you set goals, or set mission or build a company says, I just care about the client experience. And that's what matters.
Yep.
Back to you, Lim. What's your courageous commitment number 3 for the year?
Arlene says, my courageous commitment is to start tapping the business insurance market. Now, you guys can actually start asking questions. Thanks, Arlene, for your feedback. We really appreciate that. Now, you can actually give us your commitment and show it to us like Arlene does, and actually share with us so that, as I say, as I was speaking today, if you dare to dream, you need to proclaim that dream and tell everybody what is better than to tell it off on the Facebook Live, right? And everybody knows what crazy dreams you have to achieve, okay? So thanks for sharing with us, Arlene. And I would love you guys to actually keep sending the questions in so that we can actually answer it for you and we can give you some insights on how we think some of the questions that you can answer yourself, all right? All right, so keep the question coming in. Tell us, keep the question coming in. We love to hear from you, all right? So what is my third courageous commitment? I think my commitment next year is to actually live a balanced life, to spend time with myself, basically to do more exercise, to be more active. I want to spend a lot more time with my teenage kids. Two of my kids are growing to teenage years, the eldest son and my eldest daughter. I think at this moment they need their father the most. They are growing to become men and women. And they experience life, a tantalizing feeling of puppy love and all that. And yes, I think I need to make a conscious decision to actually spend more time with my teenage kids, really teaching them the real life value, how to protect yourself, how to protect others, how to make sure that you actually treat others well, all right? And have a dream, work your way up, put in hard work, how to actually live a life of a responsible adult. So I think I like to do that, with my teenage kids. So, and I want to spend more time with my mother. She lives with me, actually. In the Asian culture, actually, we want our parents to live with us. It's very, very different from the white man's culture, right? The Western culture, I should not say that. The Western culture. The Asian culture, we want our parents to live with us. My mother lives with me, and I want to spend more time. But when she lives with me, yes, I see her every day, but I did not really sit down and talk to her. In long conversation. I would like to do that, start with every week. So I like to bring her out for tea every week. Just me and her. Let her grumble. No, 2 hours is fine. But just to spend time with my mother. My wife as well, I'm going to continue the date night. And also my in-laws, we're going to visit them more often. The pandemic has stopped us from visiting them for the last 2 years. We just did one trip back home during Christmas and we loved it. And I'm so proud of my wife. You know what my wife did when she went home? Rick, just guess what did my wife do? My wife spent 150,000 ringgit when she went home to Kuching this time and bought her mother a brand new car. And I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. So we focus too much at work, and I always believe it is not how fast we run, it is how far we walk. How far and what is the distance that we can cover. And I don't want to die at 50 years old of a heart attack and because of exertion of work. So I must learn to slow down, enjoy the moment, and live longer. So don't have to take things too seriously. Sometimes I take things very seriously when my staff don't do things, when they, I have to really slow down, and slow down and talk at their pace. Seriously, Rick, if they can do what we do, they are the TOTs already, right? So I don't have to take things too seriously. Life goes on with or without any title, right? Or another title. So by the end of the day, our tombstone doesn't write how many TOTs I have. But I hope it writes how well I live. So yes, I'm 45 years old. I think a lot of people think it's a bit early to come to that conclusion. But that's my life. So I'm going to go for excellence at my pace, where I live a life of significance, a life of giving back, a life of building a legacy to make my community better. So that's my commitment for next year, right?
Make the
So,
dashes count. There's only two numbers: the year you were born and the year we're not here. Make the dashes count.
yep.
Year you were born, year you're not here, that dash. Make the dashes count.
All right. So we got more questions coming in. Thank you, Crystal, for those questions. And so, yeah, Esther say is about the whole person. Correct. This is the whole person concept. You know, for one thing that MDRT teaches us, when you join MDRT, the first year I still remember when I joined the annual meeting. I did not went to the annual meeting the first year. I went to the annual meeting the third year I qualified. Why? Because the first year I got married, I didn't have money. The second year I bought a house, I didn't have money, and my wife was pregnant. And the third year I went with my baby, and my mother and my father. So the whole family went to America first year. And from the first year, I learned about the whole person concept. It really opens up my mind. Whole person concept tells you to live better, a better life, a balanced life, and yet be super efficient in your work, where you can work less and play more. So I still remember this speaker says, if you can take one day off in a week, you can take 2 days off in a week. If you can take 2 days off in a week, you can take a month off in a quarter. If you can take a month off in a quarter, you can work 7 months and rest 5 months, and yet still be top of the table. It was very puzzling at then. How do you work 7 months and rest, enjoy life for 5 months, and still do top of the table? And from all these talks and all this sharing in MDRT, you learn the processes that actually go through, like what I'm hearing from you. Staffs, 20, 30, I learned staffing. I learned to build management team from MDRT. And that actually helped us to actually be very efficient and yet work less and enjoy life better. So this is very, very good. Right? If you have the chance to go to
Absolutely,
annual meeting, please go.
absolutely true. Although we had our best year ever last year, total transparency, all of you, last year was probably the least I worked hours wise. The least hours I worked. It's all about having efficiency. I don't really agree with the cultural differences of Eastern and Western society. I think rookie level leaders will say, work hard, work hard. It's work smart, work smart. When I was younger, my parents said, work hard, son. But they never taught me how to work smart. So last year, we had our best year ever. It's all about efficiency. It's all about having the right team. So this year, as many of you heard, my goal, my courageous commitment is to go 3x TOT. But what was one of the things I committed to? I'm going to grow our team. My goal is not to hit TOT every year by myself. My goal is to clone and create more powerful team members that share the same values of the Midas Wealth brand. And guess what? In 8 years, by 2030, we're going to do 10x TOT, and I won't even be in the office. I won't even be in the office because you're building an infrastructure. You're building an infrastructure. You're building an enterprise. It's either you do it yourself or you build the enterprise to do it for you. So that is the commitment.
Okay. So, Rick, we still have about 25 minutes or 20 minutes before we end the
Let's go
show.
with Q&A.
So we
Yeah.
only have 3 questions, and today our audience are very, 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 very timid. I think there's too much kickoff and too much conferences they went through the last 2 weeks. You have your kid watching you doing the show now. Is your is
Say
your
that again?
is
Yeah,
your son?
yeah, because of the time zone difference. Usually, remember how, because you just said the winter time, my kids are going to daycare right now, so I hear a little background. If you don't mind, why don't we get more questions? Give me 1 minute. I just want to make sure the kids, I usually kiss them goodbye before they go to daycare.
Go
I'm just
ahead,
going to do
Rick.
that. Yes, 1 minute, okay, guys? But follow up with questions. Those 3 questions, I could come out, I could fire the best answer you ever heard in 30 seconds, and then the show ends. So, one thing I want to share with you, and this is the truth, okay? And I want you guys to learn and understand this. When I was a new advisor in my first year, the reason why I didn't hit MDRT was because I didn't deserve to hit MDRT. Most of us don't hit our goals because we choose not to hit our goals. I was the Asian advisor. I was the person that sat in the back of the room, shy, timid, quiet. I want to ask a question, but I don't want to make it sound like a silly question. There's no such thing. In fact, if you read books, the people that achieve their goals are the first ones to have courage. Ask us your questions. If you don't ask questions, then everyone in this room better be a TOT, or everyone has probably hit all their goals. I don't know if I can teach you everything we know, but I believe humility is very important. If you think you know, then you will never learn. There's a great saying, I know, I know, I know, but then you'll never learn. The enemy of learning is knowing. You know, I went to a conference recently and I sat down with someone, and I think we were 4 times their number. And then I asked them, I said, well, tell me about your career. Tell me about things that are going well, you know? And then they said, well, yeah, I know this, I know this, I know this. After 2 minutes, I got up and I said, hey, I'm going to go say hi to a friend over here. I walked away because I met the person that was perfect. He knew everything. What is the point? Even though his numbers were 4 times lower than our number. So that's the reason why people don't achieve their goals, because they think they know it all. In fact, I go into meetings, I can't wait to learn. I'm always asking questions. So please ask questions. I'm going to be right back. 1 minute.
All right. So it is all me now. So keep your question coming. You know what Rick says is very, very true. You know, if you don't ask question, you will never, never learn. And it's important that you ask question. Although this is a Facebook Live, and we're making this available for you to actually ask us questions. Now, I just want to put up Shanette's comment here. Her commitment is to make a difference in her client's portfolio because I care. I want to learn special charisma and identity as a trusted insurance agent that can step up to achieve the achievement ladders quick through referrals. Enlighten me how to build my name in a community like you, Rick, and your processes to commit to your clients. I will wait for Rick to answer this question. It's very long, huh, Shanette? Okay, I'll wait for Rick to answer this question later for you. So keep the question coming, right? So I've got another question for Arlene. Thank you, Arlene. You know, we will answer your questions. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Maha. You know, whole person concept. And today, actually, I've done six. For the last 2 weeks, I've done 6 sharing sessions with companies, mostly companies, and I've actually shared with them a lot on the whole person concept. So a lot of agents actually ask me, you know, I want to be MDRT this year. I want to MDRT. But a lot of them actually, let me just put it this way, you didn't have the strategy towards your first MDRT. When you hit the first MDRT, it can be all hard work. You can work very, very hard to achieve your MDRT first time. But let me just put it this way, you cannot go very, very far. All right? So if you do MDRT first time using hard work and you try to actually do that again the second time, you will actually burn out. And if you did achieve your MDRT the second year, I bet that you'll be actually quite tired. On the third year, if you still do hard work, keep burning 7 days a week, 18 hours a day, seeing 5 clients a day, and go all out to achieve another MDRT, I tell you, on the 4th year, you will die of exhaustion. So my advice to you is to work very hard the first year, but then think of a way to improve your work process, get better clients, choose your clientele very well, improve your case size so that you can work less and achieve more. If you've done MDRT in 7 days, if you've done MDRT 7 days a week working for 365 days, I challenge you today. I challenge you to drop 1 day off your calendar. Means you work 6 days a week now. Take 2 weeks of holidays every half a year, and rethink the process of your working. Rethink your working process. When you do that, your brain will start to think, how can I achieve MDRT in 270 days? How can I achieve MDRT in 300 days of working? And when you do that, you will achieve MDRT and live a better life. So let me just challenge you that, right? Okay. So Rick is back. Good to see you back, Rick. Yeah. Okay. So let's just shoot with some questions. Okay, Rick? We have a few questions here, so let us get this question up, all right? So the first question is from Crystal. Crystal says, regarding the setting of a system for rewarding the team for performing advisors, how do you engage those who are inactive? Do you have a system for that as well? Rick, you want to take that?
Sure. So this is back when I was a managing director and I led a team, an office of over 50 people. So what you have to understand, Crystal, is everyone is inactive for their own respectable reasons. Um, I would challenge you to not teach all your advisors the same way. Just like Lim is unique, I'm unique, we're all different. Now, when you have inactive advisors, I would challenge you to have courageous conversations with them. What I used to do when I was an agency director, I would compliment and recognize publicly, but I would have courageous conversations privately. I give everyone a chance until they stop giving themselves a chance. I give everyone a chance until they stop giving themselves a chance. So if I met an advisor that had a goal, what I would do is find out where they are and where they want to be. And then I'll reverse engineer the numbers based on activity, courageous commitment and activity. And then if Crystal, you were my advisor and said, Rick, I want to have 3 meetings today and I want to help teach and inspire my community. Then I ask you, Crystal, do you know how to have and keep those 3 meetings? You said you don't know how to. I will teach you how to prospect. I'll teach you how to build a brand. I'll teach you how to network. And then I just need you to do it. Now, if you don't want to do it or you don't know how to do it, it's 2 different things. If you don't know how to do it, it's my job as your agency director to teach you. Now, if you don't do it because you're scared to do it or you don't want to do it, then that's a different conversation. So I will share with you, I believe in America or in our industry globally, 10% of advisors make it to their 5th year. 90% of people that do what we do not make it to their 5th year. 90%, 9 out of 10. So my job back then when I was an agency director, our commitment was to grow and destroy those statistics. Statistically, we had 30% make it to their 5th year. Only 70% failed. Now, when you hear that, you're like, well, still 70% failed. Just to let you know, we were 3 times better as a managing director, as an agency director in retention than most other people. Now, people are supposed to not be in this business. Not everyone is supposed to be a financial professional. Now, if you try to make everyone a financial professional, that's where you're wrong. You're wasting time on people that should not be here. And instead, you should focus on the people that should be here. Because in my humble opinion, remember, if you spend time on the people that are destined to be career advisors, career agents, they will outperform 10 times more people that were not supposed to be here. So as an agency leader, you have to discover who is supposed to be here and who's not supposed to be here. The people that are not supposed to be here, give them every fighting chance. Teach them, encourage them, motivate them. At the end of the day, when you realize they give up on themselves, then you have to give up on them too. That's my answer.
Thank you, Rick. I think you just gave me the best advice I want to hear the whole night. Right?
Awesome.
Never give up on them until they give up on themselves. True.
Yeah.
You know, I had the same thing with you, Rick. I've recruited more than 150 agents throughout my career, and to tell the truth, not many survived. It is very sad, you know, to actually go through that process. But yet again, I think I'm learning something new today. Thanks, Rick. You know, I need to learn a lot. I do not know. I need to ask questions. All right. So let's just go to the first questions. Some other questions, okay? Okay, what do you think about the most important activities that an inspiring MDRT should focus on? All right. Okay, maybe I can take that. So, what is the most important activity that an inspiring MDRT should focus on? If you ask me, if I go back to my time when I was doing MDRT first time, the number one activity I was focusing on is upgrading my market. So there are 2 things on upgrading your market. Number one is to upgrade your brain, to upgrade your intelligence and upgrade your knowledge, upgrade your basically is here, right? So you should upgrade yourself first before you want to upgrade your market. So the number one thing you do that you should read more, you should actually learn more, and you should actually be reading a lot of books and all these things to actually keep yourself knowledgeable. Because when you're knowledgeable, you're confident and you can speak to people richer than you, right? So the second thing I did is to upgrade my market. How did I upgrade my market? I throughout my clientele, that 50, 60, 80 of my clientele, there must be some people who is richer than me. It cannot be everybody who is poorer than me, right? It has to be like 10% who is richer than me. So what I happens to do is that I focus the activity of knowing These 10% clients, friends, the bird of the same flocks together. You only see businessmen having lunch with businessmen. Businessmen will not have lunch with their factory workers, right? They will have dinner and have fun with business people. The same flocks together. So I invite myself and actually expanded the business market. Upgraded myself here on top, then I upgraded my market eventually through businessmen that I knew. And from there, I've been doing this every year, and it's getting better and better and better and better. And today, I can tell you I'm still the poorest guy if I invite the top 10 clients to the table. That is key, right? So if you ask me, the most important activities of an aspirant MDRT agent is to upgrade yourself and upgrade your market, right? Rick, you have anything to add on?
Sure. So in the past, I've done an MDRT speak session. I recorded this question before. And if you listen to last year, there's similar answers. So number one, I believe everything you do has step by step. So for example, let's say my wife and I are trying to bake a cake. Imagine instead of putting the eggs, there's a process to everything. You're supposed to put the eggs, the flour, the milk. You have to like mold it and then put it in the oven. Imagine I just put it in the oven without molding it. So the problem about most advisors, they fail in what they want to achieve, is they're doing step 3 or step 5 or step 10 when they're not starting with step 1. Step 1, you could be the smartest person in the world. You can know everything in the textbook. You can have all the designations, which I've seen so many people memorize books, get all their certification. And you know why they still fail? Because they're not motivated. So step 1, it's your mindset. It's your mindset. I don't care. You're the smartest person in the world. I don't care if you have the aspiration to hit TOT or 100x TOT, but if you don't take that first step, nothing of it is true. So the first thing you have to do is mindset. So the first activity is, I think most people, and I shared this in the past, statistics show that an average person has 7 negative thoughts a minute. They have over 400 negative thoughts an hour. They have over 14,000 negative thoughts a day. So most people have negative thoughts, unfortunately. So you have to change your mindset. You have to motivate yourself, inspire yourself, think happy thoughts, be happy, be kind, do all the right things. So number 1 is motivate yourself. Manifest. If you want to hit MDRT, first you have to believe you'll hit MDRT. You have to believe you have to hit the MDRT. I remember when I was a new advisor, I had a mentor that says, if you could hit MDRT in your 10th year, you're successful. Why? Because he or she set that path for me. He or she set that path for me. What if I was supposed to be different? What if I was supposed to be the legend that hit it the first day, the first month? But because I heard in my head, achieve it in my 10th year, then now I just prolonged my ability to achieve those goals. I would challenge all of you. First, you have to have mindset and manifest it. After you manifest it, then what Lim said is absolutely right. You need to learn. You need to learn. You need to get better. Because even if you have all the commitment, all the passion, and you are going to do no matter what, everything you need to do, and you have the courage, but if you don't know how to do it, then you're wrong. So the second step is then learn. Talk to people that already achieved MDRT. Don't talk to people that did not achieve MDRT because you're learning from the wrong person. Talk to the TOTs, how they achieve MDRT. Talk to the TOTs, how they achieve COT. You won't talk to an MDRT asking them how to achieve TOT if they never achieved TOT, right? So remember, you got to learn from the right people. Okay, so the first thing is mindset. The second thing is learn and ability. And then finally, it's activity. It's activity. You don't have to be the most talented person in the room to achieve MDRT. You just got to work hard and you got to work smart. So I remember when I was a new advisor, there was a gentleman that it was a colleague of ours, number 1 every single year. That person was the most talented. When I was a new advisor, in my first 6 months, I was going to get terminated. I was put on probation to get fired. I'm an introvert. Like Lim said earlier, I'm shy. You know why I'm shy? Because my parents told me to be shy growing up. My parents told me to be quiet growing up. Oh, Rick, you have an opinion? Keep your mouth shut. That's the Eastern mentality. And then you know what? After 6 months of being in this business, I was put on probation to be terminated. People say I was no good. I had a manager that says, Rick, this business is not right for you. You're not good at this. Go work for your daddy's company. And you know what? I went back to my parents and I said, Daddy, Mommy, someone said I'm not good at this. What should I do? You know what my parents said? Son, it's too hard. Just work for the family's business. You'll make a lot more money. And that changed my life. Someone said I'm not good at something. And then when I went back to my parents, they said, it's okay to give up. And I turned around and I said, well, Dad, I have 30 days of probation. Should I at least try? No, son, too hard. Just give up. I said, well, one day I'm going to be a father. One day I'm going to be a husband. If I give up at 22 years old, then I'll give up for the rest of my life. Let me give it my best. But this time, I'm not going to listen to the other people that taught me. Someone asked me recently, what is the best advice I got when I was a new advisor? Do not reinvent the wheel. Someone also asked me, what is the worst advice I ever got as a new advisor? Do not reinvent the wheel. You guys might think, why is it the same answer for the best advice and the worst advice? It's simple. The wheel was invented the first time by cavemen in cement. See, the wheel is the foundation. I'm not trying to reinvent it, but I'm going to customize it. I'm going to enhance it. I'm going to upgrade it. And I'm going to make the best wheel in the world. So the answer to you is manifest, mindset. Number two, remember this, is get smarter, level up, get better, and learn from the right people. And number three, very important, activity. You don't have to be the most talented person. You just got to work hard and work smart, right? And then what's interesting is this next 6 months, the first 6 months I failed. I was put on probation to be fired. For the first time in my life, I did not listen to my parents. I stopped listening to others. I started listening to myself. What if one day Rick Hugh was supposed to teach others and not others teach Rick Hugh? In the second 6 months, I became top 3 in the agency. I did not get fired. And second year, I was number 1. The third year, I was number 1. Third year, at 25 years old, I built my own agency. They gave me the keys to lead others. And then 5 years after that, I led the whole country in the category. So I tell people this all the time. You can be who you want to be if you choose to be who you want to be. You can create your own destiny. It's all mindset. Lim, next question.
So this next question, tell us your top 3 New Year resolution already been answered, Esther. So we're going to drop this question, right? Esther, our number 1 fan. Do you know that, Rick?
I believe that. I know that.
Okay.
Well, you have a lot of fans. I only have 1 fan, and that's Esther. Thank you, Esther.
Oh, Esther will be smiling now. Okay. So Esther, when we go to America this year at Boston, I'll make sure I'll introduce you to Rick. Okay. So there's one question. It's quite interesting. All right, Rick, this is for you. All right. Earlier you mentioned that you talk to your clients and you want to bring a change in your client's life. Do you have a process doing this? Can you share the process that you make when you talk to your clients? Rick, go ahead. Shoot.
Sure. I'm going to share something with you that I hope will change your life too. See, when I was a new advisor, many agency directors, many managers says, focus on results. What was your premium this month? What's your premium this year? How many lives you wrote? And you know what? I used to chase results, and that's wrong. It's all about activity. It's all about process. Now, Lynette, I want to share something with you that's really, really special and unique. And I said this in one of my earlier speeches. I want you all to understand, most advisors, I would probably challenge you, 99% of advisors, when they go into a client one-on-one meeting, they're thinking wrong. They start the meeting wrong. They think wrong. The process is wrong. I recently had a top of the table advisor listen to me, show them my process, and they said, I've been doing this for over 20 years. No one has ever taught me this way. My way at Midas Wealth is not the absolute way, but my way is a different way that most people have never heard of. So I want to share this with you that's really, really important. You see, I know there's so many things I could say to answer this question, but let's just go this very simple philosophy. Lynette, there are 2 advisors. One advisor needs an income, needs a sale, needs a client, okay? And then goes into a meeting. The second advisor is retired. The second advisor is financially freedom. The second advisor has no personal wants. Go into a meeting and work with a client. Who do you think will be a better advisor for that client? Who do you think's process is better? Who do you think? Now, I know you can't speak back in Facebook Live, but I'll tell you, in my humble opinion, 10 out of 10 times, the second advisor, the one that's already retired, the one that's already retired. I go into meetings not caring about any results. I'll share this with you. Whether it's true or not true, Lynette, every advisor that's in this chat right now, if you were all retired, you all had all the dollars you want, all the financial freedom you want. But now, the day after you retire, someone came to you and said, "Hey, Rick, now that you're retired, I have a question about financial planning." Would your answer the day after you retire be different from while you're still as an advisor? I know my answer would not be different because I have no vested interest. I go to client meetings and I say this: "You don't need my help. Have a wonderful day." I go to client meetings and say, "You are on track to retire." I go to client meetings. "You want to buy a home in 5 years? In fact, I think you could buy in 5 months." You can buy in 5 months because based on math and simple logic, you can do it in 5 months. So a lot of clients, when we meet, they actually don't need our help. They need our confirmation, right? But I do have clients that go into meetings that make millions of US dollars a year. I say, "You're not going to retire." And then they're shocked. I tell them, "Hey, you're making this amount. You're doing all these things. You're not on track." I will always tell them the truth. I had a client recently say to me, this was like years ago. They said, "Rick, I've met so many advisors. You're different." And I said, "How so?" "I can tell that whether I work with you or not work with you, you don't care if I work with you. Is that right?" I said, "I care about you, but I don't care whether or not you work with me. I only have one chance. I met you by chance. I met you by chance. It's either I'm going to do my best to teach you everything I know and hopefully change your life. At the end of the day, if I teach you everything I know and I don't care about the results, I care about the process, you decide to go in a different path, I agree. I agree. You should go in a different path. And I move on, you move on." Because I truly believe this. I truly believe this. Not one person we work with will change our career. But if we work with the right people, if you're the right advisor, you know and do the right thing, you will change the lives of the people you meet. That's my mentality. So I hope I answer your question, Lynette.
Well, Rick, you did inspire me. You answered my question. I'm gonna look into my process with my customer advisory team, and truly look at this differently. Thanks, Rick. You answered
Yeah,
my
because
questions.
if you think about it, everyone is watching today. What do we need in life? Food and shelter. Food, shelter, and warmth. That's the only three things we need in life. At
Right.
25 years old, I already realized I retired. 25 years old, I retired. I came out with a number. I did my own financial plan. How much does Rick Hugh need as a minimum necessity? I did the math. I retired at 25. I retired. I have all the assets, all the income I need to retire at 25. So then at this point, when I do meetings, I retired. "Oh, you don't want to listen or learn what I did? Okay, bye. See ya. I'm retired." And then you know what I realized? I've always been retired. Because once I teach people this, you all need to understand what is your retirement number. I've met people that make millions of US dollars a year. They don't know their retirement number. And that's foolish. How can you hit a target without knowing what it looks like? I know what my target is. And once you hit that target, everything above that is extra. It's extra. And I don't need extra. I don't need extra. That's superpower time. Superpower. That's why Lim and I are doing these hour talks every single month. It's because we give back. We don't need to do this, but we want to do this.
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't
So,
need to do this.
answer.
We don't need to do this. All right. Thank you, Rick. So now, let me just answer one question. Shanette asked, how do you build your investment clients as you shared this year that's different from your previous year? Now, I was always been very, very insurance centric. It's always been insurance, insurance, and insurance. To tell you the truth, I hardly sell any saving plans. You know, Malaysia, we have these saving plans and other that we do. And a lot of agents actually do their COT, TOTs, or MDRT using saving plans. These are short-term saving plans. You save 5 years, 10 years, whatever you do. In fact, I've never sold one saving plan for the last, 7 years? Why? Because I do not believe in them. Because they yield too little and they're not very, very good investments. I always focus on insurance for the last 10 years. And I always sell the longest. I always sell 20 years and above. Why? Because I believe in using the smallest amount of money to hedge against the biggest risk. Why would you want to deplete your client's income and your client's active income? I mean, to pay short term and yet again give so much commitment for it. Maybe Rick doesn't understand, but this is something happens in Malaysia. So I always sell the biggest number of coverage using the least money to get the biggest bang on the buck. Now, about the investment part, I came across PRS about 2 years ago. I didn't act on it until I met Rick, and Rick says you must actually look into investment. Why? Because if you do, we actually do two things right now. Our clients have two fears. One is they die too soon, and the other one is they live too long. Correct? We've solved the die too soon problem, which is insurance. Correct? But I've never helped them to solve the live too long problem, which is investments. And we should actually help them to do that and actually help them to get away that worry. So I actually start looking into PRS, the private retirement scheme, and start actually advocating to my clients. And to my surprise, a lot of them wanted that product. And that is like a government, endorsed product. It's like a 401k thing. It's like a second retirement fund besides the mandatory retirement fund that we must put in, set up by law. So this is very interesting. So I set out to actually sell 3,000, 5,000, but I never started at 3,000. Although the law says 3,000 for tax purposes, I always started with 30,000 or 100,000. And to tell you the truth, last year somebody gave me $500,000 one shot to put it into a PRS funds. So that is quite interesting. So I've done a lot more, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. Although the commission is not very, very much, but it does help the clients to have a sense of a peace of mind that he has put something on for days that he might be living too long, way beyond his retirement. So that has given me great pleasure in working in both ends. One part is the fear of dying too young. The other part is the fear of living too long. I think that is financial advisory, right? In essence, that's it.
That's great. Lim, I'm glad that you finally, acted on that. So I'm going to change everyone's life. That's only the second step of being the best advisor you can be. So if we master insurance products to help clients, let's say, die too soon, and we help master investment products so that they don't outlive their money and have more than enough wealth, can we do more? The answer is many things we can do more. How many of you know how to help your clients negotiate their salary? How many of you know how to help your clients buy real estate? How many of you know how to tell your clients to grow their business, hire employees, culture? I recently helped a client buy a beautiful real estate property. And they said, Rick, are you a real estate broker on the side? I said, no. In fact, I'm not. It's like, you know more than my real estate broker because I choose to be a master in everything. Because your clients, so someone recently told me this, Rick, I realize your process is different. I change people's lives. I help people solve problems. It's not just dying too soon or living too long. I help them with other problems. I recently had a client because of the pandemic, his son lost his job. I made sure his son got a job interview and got a new job. How can I not? I know over 1,000 clients. 300 of my clients are business owners. His son is so smart, talented, but the son's company failed because of COVID. So guess what? I just reached out to a few hundred business owners and said, hey, are you looking to hire talent? And then I helped my client's son get an interview and the son got a job. Now think about this. Do you think that client will ever leave me? I just helped his son get a job, change his son's life, change his life. Has nothing to do with what we do. I think to be the best advisor in this world, you help your clients with everything. Everything. Not just dying too soon or living too long. Help them with everything.
All right, Rick, we need to speed up a bit because we are running out of time. So now, how did you manage your business so efficiently so that you have a balanced life based on the whole person concept? Okay, let me just take this. Now, how do you actually manage your business with efficiency? Now, you see, a lot of us think that you should do MDRT, COT. A lot of by working harder. That is totally not true. in the MDRT context. If you have never attended an annual meeting, that might be true to you. But once you attended an annual meeting and went through the whole person concept, that is totally not true. You do not work harder to be a COT or a TOT. The first MDRT, you work very hard. The second year, you should strategize towards your second year MDRT, working less but more efficient. COT is about strategy. All right? You should work out a strategy plans towards your cut of the table, and top of the table, it is a strategy with a business plan. It works towards top of the table. Now, there's Brian Hacker always tell me, MDRT you see a lot of sales agent, but in top of the table you see a lot of businessmen. Rick and I are businessmen. Why? We hire staffs. We have a team that help us to achieve top of the table. So I would just suggest to you, Arlene, if you want to do MDRT many years to come, you must strategize. So the first thing you must do, the first thing is what we call putting down your big rocks in your time management, is to put down your holidays and your fun time with your family and all this into your yearly calendar. Take away a month, take away 8 weeks. Spend time with the family, because that matters the most. Because when you die, the CEO of your company will not come to your funeral. I guarantee you that. Right? When you die, your children will be there for you. So you want to actually spend time with them. So spend 8 weeks, plan your holiday first. Before you start your year, you plan your 8 weeks holiday. Then you have your 10 months. Now sit down and strategize your work. How do I achieve MDRT efficiently in 10 months? That's how I work. Every year I put down holidays, calendars, everything. I will fill that up in a year, and I have 7 months, 8 months to work towards top of the table. That's how I work. I believe, Rick, in some way you do work like that, right, Rick?
Yep. My time with my family, my time personal is just as important as a client meeting. Clients ask us, can we do weekend meetings? No, unfortunately, respectfully,
no,
I have a
unfortunately,
family.
no.
I can't commit to that. Can you do a night meeting? Unfortunately, we cannot commit to that. Your doctor who is successful will not see you at 10 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
Right? Hospital, you have to understand, mindset has to change. What you can do in 12 hours, I promise you can do in 5 hours. I promise you. You just have to understand, not only work hard, you just got to work smart.
All right. So let's get the next question, right? Rick,
Let's go.
okay. So, all right. So the next question is this. Now it says, how do you handle becoming MDRT, COT, and TOT while ensuring your agency is not sacrificed and vice versa? Some leaders has challenges on managing this goal. I think this is now, Rick, you want to take that? Or this
Sure.
is an Asia problem? I can answer that.
Oh,
if
that's
you want
okay.
to.
No,
Yeah.
it's an Asia problem. Asia problem and US problem may be similar or different. I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
What if I told you, Crystal, how do I handle becoming MDRT, COT, or TOT? So let's say, Crystal, you by yourself individually can be a TOT with the sacrifice of your whole agency and all your leaders and all your team members. You may or may not want that. Now, if you focus on your agency and your leaders and everyone, they succeed, but you will never be TOT, COT, or even MDRT. Well, simple. Just create 2 of you. Create one Crystal that is a TOT member and create one Crystal that's top of the agency leader. Then as long as there's 2 of you, then you will hit both. Now, you might say, well, Rick, I'm not a twin. I can't create 2 Merzen. There's no cloning machine. Well, it's very simple. You have to build the infrastructure. Whatever you understand, this is how I built an agency where there was almost over 50 people. I just realized that in any organization, just like as a TOT member, there are different people in different positions that can succeed. And in your agency, you just need to make sure that you have to develop the infrastructure, the leaders, and you have to work with your leaders. Oftentimes I see agency directors, they think their leaders are good enough. They're not. I speak to some of their leaders. As I talk to them, I look at them in the eyes. In 10 seconds, I know their leader is no good. And I'll tell you why, because their eyes tell me the truth. Some people, their eyes are already dead when you see them. And that's sad. right? So some people put leaders into positions that are not supposed to be leaders. Some people put leaders in position and then don't teach them anymore and walk away. The leaders need growing too. You need to constantly spend as much time with your clients as you spend with your leaders. Your leaders need to spend time with your new advisors and so forth. You have to create a system of efficiency. Clone yourself, create more versions of yourself. That's how you will build the best of everything.
Thank you, Rick. Right. I hope, Crystal, you have the answer there, right? So the last two questions. Now, Kawai asked me, you say you're going to recruit 100 agents. How are you going to do that? Basically, it's just systems. I've built a management team that's going to help me to recruit. I tell you, I have a full-time recruiter who actually recruits and interview, what do you call these, new agents for me. This past week, what I know, this past week she have reported to me she's done 13 interviews of new recruits coming into the agency. How we do it, I can share with you privately. It's a process that we do from online and from offline and all that. So, but if you ask me, Kawai, am I going to do it myself? Everything? No, it's impossible. If you're going to do it everything yourself, it's impossible. You must have people to help you. So there is a system. And I tell you the truth, my recruiting manager, she's going to hire her own staff. I told her, I said, Melissa, please go and get your own staff. If you're interviewing 16 people a week, you need a staff to help you screen through 28 to 30 resumes a week. So she's going to hire her own staff. So that's the thing that I did with my management team. They get to hire their own interns and their own staff to help them in the job and to make them more efficient. So if you ask me how to recruit 100 agents, it's systems. I can't do it all by myself. I only do the final interview. Normally that is like a 20-minute thing because my staff will have screened through everything, resume, personality, characteristic, portfolio, and all that. So that's it, you know. And how to maintain the 100 agents is more important than how to recruit them actually. How do you actually provide a platform to so that they can have leads continuously every day, so that they can actually see clients every day. Back to the base thing is activity. As leaders, we must be able to provide activities to our agents. If you let them to do their own activities, you know, I tell you, it's going to go back to the 90% failure rate. It's not going to work. So that's all I have to tell you. Rick, you have anything to add on that?
That's great. No, Lim, you said the right answers that I would say too. Because just think about it. It's not about having no resources as being resourceful. But imagine you have all the resources. If Lim said to me, Rick, you have to recruit 100 new agents. Remember, the job of a recruiter recruits 100 agents. Not me, not the CEO of the company. Just remember that. If you're the CEO and you're the office manager and you're the janitor and everything, you can't do it all. So if you think about it, an average recruiter, in my humble opinion, can recruit 10 people a year. In my humble opinion, an average recruiter can recruit 10. I just need to hire 10 recruiters. If I hire 10 recruiters, each of them recruit 10, that means I recruited 100, and I don't even have to do anything.
Yep.
My job is to, at the end, confirm that the recruiter's job is the right job. But Lim said absolutely right. Don't focus on recruiting. Focus on developing and retaining.
Yep.
Focus on developing and retaining. That's a much harder job.
So
taking 101 classes are easy. Taking PhD level classes are hard.
So this year, my focus is not recruitment. My focus, recruitment is done by my recruitment manager. I'm fully focused on retention and creating leads and activities for my agents. That's my number one job, right?
Absolutely. And Lim, I shared this with you. I said this on stage one time. I don't know about everyone in this room. What is forget about your MDRT, TOT, COT, whatever numbers goals you have. What is your revenue goal? Remember, we're all self-employed. We're all business owners. What is your revenue goal? Right? I realized, like you said, at MDRT, they talk about numbers. When you become TOT, they talk about revenue, income.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just think about this. For all of you that are agency directors here, let's say your revenue goal is to make $1 million a year. $1 million a year. That is equal to $500 an hour. $500 an hour. What are you doing that is less than $500 an hour? Stop doing it.
Like
a
reading
recruiter's
Facebook.
job is $50 an hour. I wouldn't do a $50 an hour job if I'm trying to make $500 an hour or $1,000 an hour. So that's my answer to you.
Okay. Thanks, Rick. Last questions. So I
Sure.
promise you guys we're going to answer all your questions, right? This is the last one. Okay? So now, is there an ideal portfolio mix for big and small cases to reach MDRT? Okay, all right. This is, let me answer that. I think, so what is the ideal portfolio of big and small cases? There's no ideal portfolio. Now, the average agents, an MDRT agent writes about 100 case a year. Top of the table agents, top of the table producers writes about 300 cases a year. And that is a statistic from MDRT, okay? But it doesn't mean that the top of the table member is really writing 300 cases. No, the staff, the team is writing 300 cases. I tell you, what is the ideal mix of big and small cases for MDRT is 100 case, all right? And you divide that 100 case according to your country's MDRT's requirement, right? Once you divide 100, you get the average case size of that you need to do, right? And our times 3, that will be your presentations number. How many number of times you need to present so that you can close an MDRT requirement. But my answer for you, Arlene, is not a big and small. So I want you to go back to last year's production. Last year, how much you did, and you divided by how many cases. You get an average case size, right? This year, try to up 25%. How? It is a habit. I tell you the secret, okay? How to up 25% case size is very simple. Every time a client says, can you please prepare an X amount of budget for me for this policy? Always add 25% to that budget. Why? The budget he tells you is something that he can afford. It doesn't hurt him. But when you raise 25%, it's something he can afford. So 10 out of 10 cases, right, when you present the 25% extra on that case, I tell you, 5 to 7 of them will say yes. And your production is up 25% that year by doing absolutely nothing more. Ask 25% more for every case. Ask 25% more. So your job is actually to what? To do 100 cases with 25% more premium each case. You will do MDRT comfortably by July. And that translates to what? Efficiency in work. Oh, that's how I did it, Rick.
Great.
You have a feedback for that?
I'll give you a different approach, just a different.
Okay.
Lim hit MDRT that way. I do it a different way. I just say, Arlen, an average advisor, I'm just going to say this in my humble opinion and my experience, doing this for 15 years. I've had over 20,000 client meetings, and I spoke to thousands of advisors. An average advisor in a day can keep 5 meetings. Average advisor can keep 5 meetings in a day. I promise you, Arlen, if you keep 5 meetings every single day, you will hit MDRT. You hit MDRT. That's as simple as it is. I don't care about the budget. I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the clients you see. You keep 5 meetings a day, you hit MDRT. Now, the question is, how do you keep 5 meetings a day? I keep 10 meetings a day, Arlen. Believe it or not, our team last year wrote 360 lives. Most people, someone came to me recently and said, wow, you write 360 lives. How many did your team do? They did about 30. I did 330 lives myself. 330 lives myself. I keep 10 meetings a day. But I don't do a lot of things that I realize a lot of people do. I don't do paperwork. I don't reply to emails. I don't book first meetings. I don't make phone calls. I don't. I just see people and I go, and then I make a recommendation to people and then I go away. That's it. I see people, make a recommendation, people go away. I'm a brain surgeon. I only perform brain surgery. I don't do the office manager's job. I don't do the receptionist's job. I don't do the pediatrician's job. I'm a brain surgeon that does brain surgery, and I go away. So if you keep 5 meetings a day, Arlen, I guarantee you have MDRT. Now, if you're keeping 5 meetings a day, 6 months in, and you're on this show, and you're like, Rick, I'm not halfway to MDRT, then I'll teach you the second part. But if you keep 5 meetings a day, even if you see people that make minimum wage, you hit MDRT.
Thank you, Rick. So thank you, guys. I'm going to be posting all these thank you notes that you have been sending us. And we are out of time. And thank you for keeping with us for the last 1 hour and 40 minutes, right? And it is amazing to have you, Rick, back again. And I'll see you guys the last Friday of every month. So we'll see you in February, Rick. So I hope to
Sure.
see you, Rick,
Last
in
Friday of every month, right? Because I
last
know we
Friday
started
of
this one second Friday or third Friday. Let's do last Friday of every month.
yeah,
Perfect.
last Friday of every month. All right. So we're gonna end with a short video. All right, of a course that I do. It's called a DISC course, boosting your sales 200% by knowing your personality. And Rick, please say goodbye to all our audience and thank you very much for staying with us.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful month. We'll see you next month and continue to level up, get better, and make it your best year. Take
All right.
care. Bye bye.
So I've posted the podcast link again so that you can actually download the podcast. Okay, it's all there. Right. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys. Bye. Bye, Rick.
Bye bye.